Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate. This is Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper, and I have a WIP Chat for you today. It's been a couple of weeks since I was able to post one, but I am happy to be able to give you one today. So I'm going to be working on the Wonders of Nature Part 1 Mini Dazzles set today. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And the way that I have been working on these is that I'm not fully kitting up. I'll just take out a color as I need it, and then I put it in a container once I've used it. And then that way, when I get to the next painting, I can just use the colors that are already in containers. And then if I need to add more, I've got the set of colors ready. I am using a pen by Lace and Lathe Works and a tray by Munimade, which is way too big for, what I need, but I just like to use these big trays. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start. Let's see. Might as well start with colors I already have if I have enough in here. How are you all doing? I hope you guys have been doing well. I have been hanging in there. I haven't been uploading just because my mental health has not been in a great place, and I don't want my channel to just constantly be about that. So I waited until I felt like I could chat like more of a normal person before I made this video for you guys. So I'm sorry that the content has been light, but hopefully I can get back on track. I still have been filming little clips for like my vlog, but I didn't post one of those last week either, so it'll be another combined vlog this week. I'm a little out of practice just making a video like this and chatting for a while, so bear with me. I need to put some more wax or something in the single placer of this because it's not hanging on to anything. See, it's driving me nuts. So I'll do that real quick. This is Not Your Mama's Mud, and it's the only one I have from them because they don't have regularly scheduled drops, and I just happened to catch one at one point, I think because Katie was letting me know that they had a drop ready. So I happened to catch one at that point. Let's see if that works. And I really like it for my single placer. How are we doing? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So anyway, life updates. We're going to, I think the last WIP Chat I posted was right before 4th of July. And on the 3rd of July, we had scheduled for my older dog Chewy to go in and have a surgery to remove a cancerous tumor on his side. And so I woke up early and took him down to the vet, and some of this was in my vlog, the last vlog I posted, but I took him in on the 3rd, and then I realized that I hadn't told my husband not to feed him that morning. So we couldn't do the surgery. He couldn't go under anesthesia because he had eaten food. Needed a few more drills there. So we had rescheduled for the 10th, and I did take him in, successfully did not feed him, and the surgery went really well. The doctor was hopefully able to get all of the tumor. They did send it out for a biopsy. We're waiting to hear the results to see if it was malignant and if it had spread anywhere else, but the doctor seemed pretty positive about it. Like, that he got it all and that everything would be okay here on out. So then he had to come home and wear a cone. He still has to wear it sometimes because he starts licking the wound, and he's not supposed to do that. So, but earlier today, we went in and got the stitches taken out. So he is now stitch free and happy about it. And that's when they said he could stop wearing the cone as long as he leaves the area alone. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see if he manages to be a good boy and not lick that area. But in general, he likes to lick his body all the time anyway. He has kind of irritated skin and he takes medication for that, but he's always licking his paws or whatnot. So I don't know if he's going to be able to stay away from it. We'll see. Anyway, he's doing well. And so thanks everybody who asked about him. And Casey, my son, also had a doctor's appointment this week with a cardiologist to see if the cardiologist had any idea of why Casey might be experiencing all the fainting spells he's having. And he got an EKG done and did a pretty thorough history with him, asking him questions about his symptoms and stuff. And then the doctor pretty much said he knows what it is, and it's something called orthopedic hypotension, which is kind of a form of vasovagal syncope, which I know a couple of you had mentioned syncope, and the doctor agrees with you. He did give us some actionable steps to try and reduce the symptoms. Number one being more regular sleep, which is something that Casey has a hard time with, and I empathize because I also have a hard time getting regular sleep. So that and better food intake, which is already a problem because of Casey's ARFID that he was diagnosed with. So some options are either to just live with the symptoms, which some people prefer that to like medication, because the other option is medication if you can't get the symptoms under control with just lifestyle changes. And so that'll be something we think about in the future. The doctor said to try for at least a month to just change some of those lifestyle things and see if it gets better. So we're trying. Casey is setting an alarm for a bedtime routine and seeing if that helps. He did try that a couple of nights, and so far it hasn't been helping. But actually it's been worse, which I can relate to. Again, it's like if you know it's important for you to get to sleep, it's harder to get to sleep in my experience. And I think Casey is having some of that happen too. But yeah, I'm glad there's nothing wrong with his heart. So, and this isn't something that will cause him any harm other than if he like faints and gets hurt in the fainting, like hits his head or something. The syncope itself is not going to hurt him. So that's a pretty good outcome. As for me, I've just been kind of getting along like I always do. My son Fletcher came to visit, I think it was the week before last. I'm having trouble because the dates are kind of running together in my head now. But Oh no, it was the 10th because it was the same day that Chewy had his surgery. Fletcher came to visit with his partner and they went to a local theme park, and they actually they went kind of at opening time, and it was a Wednesday. And so they actually got through everything in the park in like an hour and a half, when in the past it's taken us at least half a day, but there were like no lines or anything. So that was interesting. I guess that's when you go on a Wednesday, that's what you get. And then we had kind of a nice little lunch and played some games and stuff before they got back on their train to go back home. So that was really fun. I was, as always, really glad to see Fletcher and was happy to meet his partner too. Fletcher right now is actually camping with my daughter Sam and her boyfriend Adrian. They went away for the weekend together to go camping by the beach, and they don't have reception, so I'm not getting too many updates, but when they went into town, they sent me some pictures and stuff, and it looks like they're having a really good time. So I'm glad they're doing things like that together. I sure do miss them, though. They're busy people, and I can't see them very often, but I wish I could see them more. What else? Let's see. I managed to be somewhat good this week on purchases. I have been trying to not spend too much because of all of the expenses that we've had recently. And it's just been a lot on our savings. So I've been trying to be good, but it was Prime Week. Amazon Prime Week. Well, I can't call it Prime Week because it wasn't a whole week, but they say it's Prime Day, but it was more than one day, so I don't know. Anyway, it was Monday and Tuesday, and I did kind of splurge, and I purchased 2 art supplies that I have been drooling over for quite some time. So I got the Art X acrylic marker set, the 60 pack, and they're kind of like, I don't know if you've heard of Posca pens, but those are water-based acrylic markers. Posca pens are very expensive, and they're like pump action. You have to pump them to get the paint to move down to the nib, and they have like a solid nib at the bottom that's kind of thick. And these Artex paint markers have brush nibs, and those are already filled with paint when you get them. You don't have to do any pumping or anything. And you can get smaller details with them because you don't have to worry about the big round nibs because they come to a point. So I've been watching a lot of videos of artists using them, and they just looked like everything I ever wanted in a paint marker. So they did go on sale for Prime Day, so I picked them up, and oh my gosh, they're so much fun. I've been playing with them. I did a coloring page in my Disney mystery coloring book, and I am continuing a spread in my sketchbook that I had to abandon years ago because the cheap paint markers that I did have were not opaque enough to cover the background I had made. So I had kind of given up on that sketchbook spread until I got these markers, and these markers are opaque enough to cover it, and so I got to work on that some more. It was really fun. And then the other item I got was a 72 set of Prismacolor pencils, colored pencils. And those are like the Spendy brand, and I didn't have any good sets of colored pencils, so I really wanted to get some because they're really good to put on top of alcohol markers, acrylic markers, watercolors, gouache. to just add texture and detail to paintings and stuff. And lately I've been wanting to do more traditional painting than I had been doing in the past few years. So I'm hoping that having these will further encourage me to work on some art. The acrylic markers have already done that, so I'm really happy with that purchase. And I'm excited to try the pencils too. I also was kind of bad, and I managed to catch a pen drop from MTN Inspirations, and they were doing some of their Galaxy pens, which I've seen a couple drops of in the past, and they're always so pretty. And this time I clicked on it like an hour after they had posted it, and I was like, oh, it's fine, they won't have any left. Well, there were a couple left, and I really liked one of them, and so it did manage to make its way into my cart. So I will be excited to receive that when it gets here. I was pretty good and didn't pick up the 3 kits that I wanted from the Diamond Art Club drop this morning, Saturday morning. I wanted Mabin and Morrigan and the Ramen Shop, but I just added them to my wish list. I'm hoping I can pick them up at a later date. I don't know if any of them sold out because I was trying not to check and tempt myself. So I don't know if any of them sold out, but if they did, I'm hoping I can pick them up on restock. And we're okay financially. I just am trying to be as good as I can be about spending extra money right now. And I did go through all of my diamond paintings last night. I got kind of an itch to do some cleaning and organizing in my office. And I went through all of my diamond paintings and I organized them. And I put some in the garage because I was kind of running out of room in here. And now I have a lot more room and I know where everything is. I was able to mark down in my gems flow where, like, I went under the notes of each painting and wrote down where in the house it is so I can easily find it. And then I even opened up every single painting and took out the little sticker and put that on the end of the box so that I can see at a glance which kit it is. And so I feel a lot more organized that way. I noticed there were several that I had forgotten to add to my gems flow. So I have more in my stash than I thought I did. It's still not in triple digits, but it's pretty much there. It's very close. So I can afford to slow down on my purchases a little bit, even if it hurts my soul to not get the ones that I've earmarked as ones that I really want. So, I can be an adult and not just buy everything I like. It just, it's hard because part of the fun of this hobby is collecting more diamond paintings to do. I'm a slow diamond painter, but I still feel like I can get all of the ones done that I currently have before, the end of my life if I live a normal span of time. So I don't feel too bad about my stash at all. And I would not mind adding more to it if, it was a smart thing for our finances right now. And I'm sure that time will come around again, so I'll just be good until then. Let me know down below if you guys picked anything up this weekend. There were some really, really good ones this week. It's been very hot here lately. Summer is in full swing here in Oregon, and I have been really frustrated with my hair. Ever since I was diagnosed with diabetes, I feel like I just keep losing hair left and right, and that is something that I guess can be part of diabetes, is that your hair gets more fine and kind of thins out, and I'm experiencing that a lot, and it's really stressful and frustrating because I feel like I can't get it to look good no matter what I do with it. And so today I went to Walmart to pick up my prescription, and I noticed that right as I walk in, there's a salon right there. And they didn't seem super busy. So I decided to get my hair cut and my eyebrows done. And I had been thinking about this a lot, and I was really tempted to just have them chop off all my hair and do like a little pixie cut thing, you know. But I have had that hairstyle in the past, and I don't look that great in it. And so but my thought process was, my hair is not looking great no matter what I do with it right now, so I might as well have it be easy and cool, you know, as in temperature-wise cool. But I did ask my husband his thoughts because he's the one that has to look at me. And he was not thrilled with the idea of my hair being that short. He thinks it's a little weird. So, and that's not necessarily what I was hoping to hear, because, you know, you'd rather hear something like, "Oh, honey, you're beautiful no matter how your hair looks," you know. But I'm also glad that he was honest with me. So I just decided to get a trim, and a bang trim and a hair trim and some layering work done to try and make it look like my hair has more volume to it. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it yet, but that's always how I feel after haircuts. So it hasn't even been a whole day yet. I'll see what I think as time goes by, but yeah, I'm just really frustrated with it right now. Adding to all the crazy stuff going on in the world and just my mental health situation where it is, I'm in kind of a tense place with one of my close family members because of something that because I posted an opinion on my Facebook page, and this family member does not share my opinion, and which is fine. I don't mind if people disagree with me at all. I'd love to hear their reasons, you know, because I feel like as long as we can have discussions, we can maybe both learn something, you know. But what bothered me was that they didn't treat me very well regarding my ability to share my opinion on my own Facebook page. And the language they used was not respectful at all. And that's what bothered me. And I'm the kind of person who really doesn't like confrontation or conflict. And I get a lot of anxiety when someone I love is angry with me. So I'm usually the first person in any argument to try and make up, you know, to apologize. But this time I feel a little differently about it because, I don't know, I feel like I'm justified in being upset at the way I was treated because I didn't treat this person that way. I was, you know, when I posted, I was respectful, and I wasn't even targeting this person with my post. I wasn't, you know, tagging them or anything. They chose to interact with it. And I understand sharing my opinion is opening myself up to someone disagreeing with me. But especially since it's a family member that I'm very close to, I just didn't expect to be treated like I'm not allowed to have an opinion. And to be honest, it did hurt my feelings quite a bit. And so I haven't made any effort to make up with this person. And I'm struggling with it because, like I said, my anxiety just goes crazy when I know that someone's upset with me or things aren't okay between me and someone else that I care about. And I just feel like I'm always the one to try and fix things, and this time I don't want to be the one. I want someone else to show me that I'm worth apologizing to. Because I know saying sorry is not an easy thing to do. But it's also an important thing to do if you care about someone. I don't know if I'm in the right here. I'm just so tired, you guys, of always having to be the person to make the first step. Anyway, so that has been weighing on me. It's almost harder for me to go through all this time with things being not okay than it is for me to just be the person to try to make things okay. In the past, I always just put aside my own feelings about the matter and just try to fix things, you know? Anyway, that's enough on that topic. It's just something that has contributed to my mental state in the past week and has made it hard for me to focus on things that make me happy. I haven't been diamond painting as much as usual or really doing anything fun as much as usual because I haven't been able to let my brain just relax when I'm diamond painting or drawing, which is usually my escape. Usually I'm able to do that and not think about things that are bothering me, but lately it's just been harder. So I've mostly been working, sleeping, spending time with the family, but I did get a little bit of art done after I got those art markers, so that was nice. At this angle, I'm having a hard time seeing some of these symbols, so I'm having to lift it up so I can see. My phone is kind of blocking my view just a little bit, so I apologize. I don't know how much of this WIP Chat is gonna actually make it through to... Oops, I missed some of that symbol before. Is gonna make it through to be posted. I might edit a lot of it out. I'm struggling a lot to verbalize the things that I'm feeling, and that's part of the reason I haven't been able to get a video out in a while, is just because I can't seem to verbalize things like I want to. So if you see the diamond painting kind of hop around with a lot more done than the last, clip you saw, it's because of that. I probably cut something out. So for a while I have been struggling to get back into any audiobooks. For a while there I was always reading something, and then I finished Ruthless Vows quite a while ago by Rebecca Ross, and I hadn't started anything new, so it had been a couple weeks, I think, and I keep wanting to start the next book in the Stormlight Archive so I can continue my reread of that, but I just don't think I'm in the mood for that particular story right now. So yesterday I started the second book of the Dragonheart Legacy by Nora Roberts. I talked about the first one a while ago on my channel when I read it. I think it was called The Awakening, and this second book is called The Becoming. And I loved that first book. It was everything I wanted in a book at the time. And the second book so far is taking me right back to that feeling. So I'm really happy to be reading that one because it's exactly the kind of escape I want right now. It's got high stakes, but it's also very lighthearted, and it has all of the things that I love in a book. It's got fantasy, romance, feel-good stuff. It's just making me really happy, and that's exactly what I needed right now. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that book. I'm only, 5 chapters in, but I have no doubt it's going to be great. I was able to diamond paint for quite a while earlier today, and I kept rolling Rose Library. I think I rolled it 3 or 4 times in a row. And so I have gotten quite a few more sections done on that one, but not really anything done on anything else. So I wanted to do some of these little mini dazzles because they're a new product, and I want to see how they look with all of the drills being special drills. I'm really excited to see how that turns out. So I'm working on these landscape ones because they have the most drills and the most kind of depth, and I'm excited to see how they turn out. Did you guys get any of the mini dazzle sets that have been released so far? I'm going to fill in the 3 of these that I missed. There we go. Sorry for the glare, by the way. I keep messing with the angle of my camera, and some angles have worked better than others, but I'm still fiddling with it. Speaking of the Stormlight Archive, though, the author Brandon Sanderson just released a video talking about a new experience that is going to be premiered at the convention that my kids and I are going to in December. And they're calling it an experiential novella. And I am so intrigued. Okay, so in this, it's called the World Hopper Ball. And world hoppers are a thing from his books. And I'm not going to give any spoilers from any of his books. But basically the premise is you are visiting a world in his Cosmere as a world hopper. And there's actually going to be actors there portraying some of the well-known characters from his books. And 2 of these characters, you're basically invited to their wedding. So you're going to a ball of these 2 characters from his books getting married. And you're going to be able to watch the wedding and take pictures with these characters and eat food based on the book series that this is from is on a different planet from Earth, and their food is very unique, but the food is going to be tailored to be like the food on that planet. And dressing up and cosplay is encouraged, and there's going to be dancing, and it sounds so amazing. I'm hoping we can go. I'm a little bit sad because it's adults only, and Casey is the only non-adult that's going to be in our party, which means if we go, he can't go, and then he's just going to be left alone in the hotel room or whatever while we go to this fancy party. Now, I'm not sure he'd be interested in going to the party anyway, and I've talked with him about it briefly, and he kind of didn't seem too interested because he knows it would be crowded, and he probably wouldn't like the food and stuff like that. But at the same time, he does love this book series, and I think it would at least be interesting for him to see the characters and the novella play out in front of him, you know? So it kind of sucks that, you know, he wouldn't be able to go and that we would be spending all of this time. It's a 2 to 5 hour event, it says, and he'd have to be, you know, just hanging out by himself for that whole time. Although, depending on which day it was, he might be ready for like an introvert break and just hang out in the hotel room without having to be around other people for a while. So maybe it wouldn't be too bad. I don't know. It is an extra cost on top of the cost of the tickets to go to the convention because they're putting so much into it and they can't accommodate everybody who is going to be at the convention. So that's my other worry, is that these tickets go on sale. We had to RSVP. Like, we got a wedding invitation and we had to RSVP to this wedding and say how many tickets we'd be interested in buying. And then the actual tickets aren't going to go on sale until early fall. And I'm just worried we're going to have an experience like we did when we bought the tickets to the convention, where it was really hard to get them purchased. And I don't know if we'll make it, you know. They might sell out before we can get our tickets. But if we manage it, man, I think that would be such a cool experience to have. I'm a little nervous about dressing up too. Like, it's a formal event and I'm not the best with making myself look presentable for things like that. And at the same time, I'd love to cosplay for it, but I also know that I'm not very good at sewing or anything like that to create the things that I'd want to create to cosplay. So what I'm going to wear is also a concern. But most of those are just like my social anxiety, and it is not at this point overcoming my desire to experience this really cool thing. So sometimes it wins. This time it hasn't won yet. I really want to experience that thing. So I'm hoping we can get in, because my older two kids are really interested in going, especially Sam. She was really excited about it. Fletcher was like, it's extra money. I don't know if I want to spend the money. But then, you know, he read more about what it's about, and then he was more interested. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have never heard of any other author doing anything like this. It's almost like one of those Disney character dinners, you know, where you're having dinner and then the characters come and visit you. But this is actually like you're taking part in part of the story of these characters. And I just think it's such a cool idea. So if we do get in, I will definitely report back to you guys when we go and how it is. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I was going to update you guys on this time. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but I feel like they haven't been super eventful. And so I think I have gotten through everything I was going to tell you. So let's go ahead and move on now to yay or nay. And the last WIP Chat's question was, if you celebrate 4th of July, do you have any 4th of July traditions? And if you're in a country that doesn't celebrate, do you have any summer traditions? The yays have it again this week. It was 7-2 yay. Shay Maven Art says, nay on celebrating the 4th. I'm not a fan of fireworks because of my noise sensitivity. We have a lot of neighbors who do big fireworks in the summer and at Christmas time, and it gets old. Plus, I kind of feel like if you've seen one, you've seen them all. I like the idea of drone shows, though. Yeah, I'm kind of the older I get, the more over fireworks I am. And a lot of it is because I see how it affects our dogs. They get really, really upset for the whole night. And people have no respect for, this year it was going on till like 3 a.m. and like right behind our house. There's a big parking lot close by, and people like to go there and shoot fireworks, illegal fireworks off in that parking lot. And it literally sounds like our house is in like a bombing range. It's kind of crazy. And our poor dogs did not like it this year at all. Mrs. Joe Violet says, I'm from Australia, so don't celebrate 4th of July. We do love going to the beach during summer, and we'll cook breakfast there, enjoying the morning watching the waves. Barbecue is big here, so we will definitely enjoy that as well. I am a huge barbecue fan, so I can sympathize with that for sure. Sounds lovely, watching the waves and having barbecue on the beach. Yes, please. Diamonds and Sparkles says, summertime traditions, more when I was little. My grandpa would take us all to lakes or rivers, buy chips and candy, and make barbecue at the side of the river. And then at the end of the day, we would ride in the back of the truck, tucked in our towels and still dripping wet, eating all the food leftovers. And just before going back home, he would get us big ice cream cones that would be dinner. Those are one of my fondest memories of when I was 6 to 12 years old. That sounds amazing. What an awesome grandpa. Grandparents, I tell ya, they make some of the best childhood memories for sure, if you have good ones. Tanya at home says, yay, we celebrate the 4th of July in our family. We have a lake house where we spend the summer. On the 4th, we have a boat parade around the lake, potluck barbecue with friends and family, and watch fireworks from our pontoon boat. Lots of fun. That sounds awesome. I hope you had a good time this year. As for my family, we used to have a tradition where we would barbecue the day of and then set off like our own little legal fireworks over at my mother-in-law's house. But I don't know, the family has just been doing other things in the past few years, and we usually still have a barbecue with some of the family, but this year my husband had to work both the day before the 4th of July and the day after the 4th of July, and he just didn't feel like he had the spoons to do all the work a barbecue would take in the middle of 2 work days. So we didn't do anything. We didn't have anyone over, nothing. However, the day after the 4th, my sister-in-law did come over while my husband was at work, so that she and I could watch the show Medium, because we'd talked about watching that together. And that was a perfect day for it, because we could just watch all day and not bother anybody with our loud TV show. We got through 8 episodes of the first season, so there's 8 left. And we got to get together soon to watch more. I love that show. So yeah, that's what we did for 4th of July. We used to have other summer traditions in our family, like a big family camping trip, and or sometimes as a family we would rent a beach house and stay there for a weekend. But we haven't done that in a while, since like before COVID. And I've been missing it. I hope we can do it again soon. But yeah, the yay or nay question this week is, do you have any tattoos? Or are you planning any, or do you want any tattoos? So yay if you're a tattoo fan, and nay if you don't have any and don't plan to get any. And if your answer is yay and you want to talk about the tattoos you have or want to get, please do. I love hearing tattoo stories. So yeah, guys, I think that's about everything. I hope you enjoyed this WIP Chat, even if it was kind of a rambly, weird one. I hope I can get back into the swing of things here very soon. But I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for bearing with me while I work out my emotional things. And I will DAC you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.